Hello and welcome back again. And our panel is about to talk new sports media. And it's an interesting topic to discuss as well, sponsored by WLTV. So I'm going to introduce our moderator again, Didem Dilmen, with an applause, guys. And we will have another speakers. So David Nova, journalist at Record Portugal. We will have him as a speaker today here. Welcome.
Okay, we can go inside.
Marco Conteio, editor-in-chief at Tutto Mercato Web, as a speaker. And Miguel Garcia, big data journalist at Marca, as a well-known magazine. So thank you. You will have the stage, Didem.
Thanks a lot, Nazijan. So, yeah, we're talking about some fun part of football, but I'm just going to ask my dear friends about, firstly, the generation is changing. So we started newspapers with a paper, newspapers were paper, but now the newspapers are websites. So how the change affected the sports media, starting with David, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. No?
Is it working? Oh, yeah, it's it. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation and for having me here. In terms of the new media, and I work with all platforms. In Record we have newspaper, digital, social media, TV show. And we see that it is a challenge because the newspaper is going smaller, limited space. We don't have space for all contents that we want, or we don't have space to treat the contents what they deserve to be treated. And then we try to compensate it on the website where the space is unlimited. And we see, of course, that our newspaper still sells a lot to the older people. I think there's a tradition of buying the newspaper, going to the coffee shop and read the newspaper. But at the same time, we need to have income and we have to have profit, of course. It's a business also, and as a business, it has to sell. And of course, our websites with the subscribers, with the video part, with the ads, also the TV show, all together to reach different kind of audience. The oldest, the youngest, those who are my age, 30, 35, 40, that age where they don't buy newspapers, but they are from an age of the websites. I think the challenge now is I think those who are now, for example, 14, 15, 16, I think those, they don't consume information in the website. It's social media, the Twitter, the Facebook, well, maybe not, but Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, we are also in that platforms. And it's a challenge because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, if these generations will consume information in the websites or just staying with the social media. And it's a challenge for us to not lose that audience because we need everyone. We need to reach everyone, different topics, different approaches. And that is a daily challenge to communicate to different targets with the same efficiency and to have to get them with us daily, because of course there are other newspapers, other websites in Portugal and other countries, of course, and I think it's a daily challenge for us. But of course, at the same time, it's good for us journalists with this generation to be prepared to do everything in all platforms.
Marco once made a transfer news at Tutto Mercato Web, and the same content was published on web in Vietnam. So, did you know that?
Yeah.
Your news went to another part of the world. So maybe web may give us new new solutions, but still from paper to web is a challenge, right, Marco?
Yeah, I work, first of all, pleasure to be here. First of all, I think that the change of media is part of the change in every part of the world, not just in Italy. I've worked for newspapers, I've worked with television, for radios, and now since 10 years, I work for Tutto Mercato. But we see that the world of media is changing for everybody. South America, North America, Turkey, Europe. So we got to find the right key to find an audience, to be interesting for everybody. The main thing that I do realize now is that in some kind of market, for example the Italian one, it's very hard to reproduce the English and American way too, the long forms. We do work for the web, for the internet, so we are very quick. The news, flash news, such an agency, but you got to be direct to the people, because you got to find the interest of the people with the news, and original and brave news. I do think that you have always the aim to be the first to be right, not to be the first. And it's a big challenge that on website you miss the most, because timing is very important. With newspaper, I think now it's another kind of journalism that many did not realize. Old, because during the night something happened. That's it.
So half of the world is reading Marca. I'm not exaggerating, you know. And in case of taking the audiences to a news, might be the most challenge for the Marca, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the invitation to the WinterLeague and Comparisonator. I'm glad to be here, and sorry for my English. First of all. Then, well, in Marca, we are trying to focus on the new audience, okay? But the real problem is that we have a huge old audience, okay? And these people read the newspaper and record the newspaper is going down, and well, we are focused on that people to bring to our website. 18% of our audience is on the mobile, so online. And well, it's hard to convince this all audience to go to our website, but I think we are working very well, and we are we have a lot of confidence that in our close future, these people come to our website.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start with Marco in my second question, because this time we're talking about the social media.
Yep.
So social media changed everything, because you are talking to people, giving them a news and reacting in a minute. So Marco, how did social media affected the sports journalism?
To be fair, I do use social medias, for example Twitter, professionally, and the thing that I've noticed the most, and maybe you all in the audience in your kind of work notice, is that in football, person are very expert. So you can miss a single thing in what you write, because if you write the 90% of the truth, you will find the guy, a 16-year-old boy from a small village in the northern Italy, that will say, no, You missed the 10%. So they teach us we have to improve for readers, because football is for expert readers. And every part of football, not just journalism, in this case, social journalism, and everything changed, is quicker again than the internet. Because if newspapers, you can sit down and read it. For the internet, maybe someone is reading now a website to see what's going on, or maybe is doing quicker again on social media. So is there three different kind of approach to news and then to fans?
Yeah. So David, you are using social media, and there are no time for making a mistake or losing something or miss something or anything else, because there are a group of people are waiting to respond or react. So how did journalism change with the social media?
Yes, like Marco said, we are dealing with people that know, or at least they think they know. But we have to respect them, because of course if people treat us with respect, which doesn't happen often in social media, but when the critics is with respect, of course I'm glad to answer and try to explain what happened if I miss something. Also with transfer news, I think it's more people are really in top of us because of the transfer market. But even other topics, I think that social media bring us, of course, it make us, or at least we have to do it because of the profession. We have to be professional. We have to do our best. But of course, we make mistakes. No one forgives in social media. But I think that we should be balanced. We have to hear them, but not to give too much credit. Yeah. Because if you do your work just based on the critics or on the compliments, I think that's not the way. Because too much good things will make you maybe not too focused, and the critics can put you down. And of course, if you are in that, if you are a journalist and you are doing your job, it's because you are good, you have quality. I think to be balanced is the key. I try to be balanced in everything in my life, also in my work. So I try to be balanced. Sometimes it's difficult when people don't understand. For example, in Portugal, we have a lot of rivalry. I believe here in Turkey with Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, the other clubs. And it's difficult to explain to some of the audience why you're doing an article about Benfica and not Sporting at that time. It's because we thought that that article about Benfica was suitable for that time. It's our editorial decision. We have the right to decide what to do. Of course, we have to treat everyone fairly. You have to be impartial, but it's difficult because in Portugal, I don't know how it is in Italy, Marco, I think the same, but people are really passionate with their clubs.
Exactly the same.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
100%.
And people tend to do wrong things when they are passionate. Not only in life, of course, but when they are too passionate by their clubs, they tend to criticize just to criticize, just because they think that we are against their club. We are not against anyone. But it's try to explain this to some of the audience, and it's part of the game. Well, it's another challenge for us, but I think the important thing is to keep our way, to do what we think it's the best for our audience, not thinking if it's best for one or for other one. Yep. We try to get the majority of the people, of course. We work for majorities. But then, of course, we have that niche of people that like one topic. Some people like scouting and transfers. I like it too. But, for example, that topic might not be so profitable or in terms of page views or interests than, for example, something related with referees. In Portugal, we have that. Or, for example, I think that it's more important to have some topic about football regarding Cristiano, Ronaldo, but if you put something related to his personal life, it will have more audience, more page views. Something related to his personal life, girlfriend, cars, life.
Yeah.
And what should we do? We should ignore those page views and those people that like to see his new brand car. Of course, we have to respect that. But at the same time, we have to respect the audience that likes to see how he's playing, what happened to his football, the new club, the new coach, the new colleagues. So again, I think the key is to be balanced in everything we do in our work.
Yeah. So Miguel, social media viewers are trying to control sports media. Like, this is the idea. But how does it look like for you, for Marca? How does it look like with the social media reactions? How does it affect?
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult to explain, but we have a great group of people that works in social media because of the fact of it's very important to listen to the audience, but be careful, okay? Because you know it's very similar that David says. In Marca, we are trying to listen to the audience, but to know what they want, okay, and try to offer this. Because if you try to listen to the audience only for what is their opinion, is dangerous because people is very passionate and they argue a lot, and it's very easy to speak behind a mobile phone, behind a social media platform, you know, and well, sometimes these people try to use Marca to elevate their voice, and we don't want that. We only want to know what the people want and try to offer that.
So I'm going to continue with Miguel with my third question. So you are the big data analyst journalist, and you are one of the best in your specialty. So I think this is maybe the toughest part of sports media, because you have to be simple with the data for everybody to understand, but you have to be complex to be fair enough. So how do you use this balance altogether?
Quite difficult. It's quite difficult. I focus on trying to explain everything so easy, but it's not always easy. I try to use the words like I use every day and other kind of articles, and only try to use these technical words like, you know, expected goals and something like that when it's necessary. And if people need to understand this kind of new statistics, well, I made a special article with all these kind of parameters to explain each one, and you put a link in every article, and if people is interested to know more about that, you can link and go there and try to understand this. But it's true that this is a dangerous way, and you have to be careful, go step by step, and try to be very easy when you try to speak about data, because the people who read about, for example, football, knows everything about goals, cards, corners, but the new parameters has another kind of data, and we want to drive these people to this new way, but we need time, and they need time.
Yeah, great. So we have 500 parameters in Comparisonator. So it's not easy.
Yeah.
Of course, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, you are doing the great job with the data.
Well,
Yeah.
we need some tools for trying or try to the people to the new statistics, and Comparisonator is one of the best ways. And
Thanks.
In the last year we growing a lot in that sense, and thank you to Comparisonator.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Also, David, how can data be used in sports news? How can you apply data to the vision of record? How do you use this?
I will give you some examples of what we have done with the Comparisonator. For example, the first article we did was about a player that was linked with Benfica, one of the top clubs in Portugal, and it was a player from Norway playing in Holland. So of course, I think that people know that we cannot know all players. It's impossible to know everything about a player. We have to have time to sleep and eat, so you cannot see all matches in football. And the first thing we did using the platform was comparing this player with the other two players that were in the squad, to show our audience if the player was better or worse, or at least the same as the other two players. That first article was very good in terms of page views and visits to the website, because first of all, because it's a different content, and I think it's important to give different things to our audience, especially those that our competitors don't have, first of all. And the first article was tremendous in that aspect, because just showing some of the data, of course, analyzing it, explaining it, because like Miguel said, I think it's important to show the numbers, the data, but you have to explain it to make it simple for our audience, because we don't know who is in the other side. It can be a specialist, a coach, or it can be someone that doesn't have the same knowledge about football or other aspects related to football. So since we don't know who is in the other side, we have to be simple to explain our work. That was the first article. We made others, especially those kind of articles when a player, during the transfer market, when a player is linked with a Portuguese club. We did another article that was a huge success also, about the best under 21 players that will be in the World Cup, because there were 3 players playing in Portugal. So we did the best 11 with the players using the platform. Also huge success, because there were 2 players from Benfica, 1 from Sporting. That brought our audience to the article. When you have a global event like World Cup, and you can do an article where you put 3 players playing in Portugal, you have the attention of our audience. That is the first step. When we made another, I'm preparing another article when you gave me another access to the platform yesterday. So yesterday night, it's true, I'm being honest. I was searching a little bit more about the platform, and seeing some stats and data about Enzo Fernandez. I think that even here in Turkey, everyone knows about him. He's been talked with the Premier League clubs.
Is it?
Yeah, you can put it on Twitter. It'll be linked with Chelsea and other clubs, and it's a player that we know it's going to leave Portugal in January or in the summer. So my next article will be the players, the similar players. I think that's one of the best assets of the tool to have the similar players to Enzo Fernandez, because I think that will be an article that, for example, Benfica fans will love to see who can be the next Enzo Fernandez, and if, for example, Benfica will sign the next Enzo Fernandez or a player similar to him. So those type of articles, like I said, are different, and they catch the attention of our audience, and that's why you use it, because it's different from our competitors, and if you can make the difference, having different articles, I think that's the right way.
So Marco, transfer is the most rating news content in sports media, because everybody wants to know who is going to be our next, for example, striker or
Hopefully.
everything else. So with the transfer news and using the data, how can you improve your ideas of a player, and how can you use this information to your audiences?
Let me tell the David's told part of my. No, just kidding. No, the part that is said on similar players, it's very true. It's a tool that on Comparisonator I find more than useful. I see colleagues from the press, I see colleagues from every part of the world, but I think that everyone is fan of a club, or kind of. And I say yesterday I was speaking with Miguel that with transfer we sell not just news but dreams. When you, the key of transfer news is that you never lose, because you dream something better. Even if you have won, you dream a big striker to win again. If you're relegated, you dream players to grow, to go back. So how data can be important for it. For example, we as journalists, we got to be simple for our audience, because as Miguel said, they're not expert as me, as everyone, we're starting with it. So his vocabulary, his links will be very useful. But the similar players, when I see, for example, maybe here the Fenerbahce player, fans, I don't know, but when you see Abubakar can go to Fenerbahce, I make an example, or Icardi can go to Galatasaray, the first question that if you don't know the player is, who reminds me, or who reminds me? I usually call an expert by phone, so I have to find an expert, I have to find an agent, I have to find a journalist to, for example, a Portuguese player going in Italy, I have to find a David Novo who helps me to tell who's similar. With Comparisonator, with data, the tool, I can choose many parameters, 600, some of your 600 parameters, to find the similar players. And that's the main question that I make. When a foreign defender is coming to Italy, the first question is, okay, who's similar to who? Which player is similar? And that's a very important article that we make many times. And they got success. They get success for the audience because it's a normal question that everyone makes. The normal questions and normal answers are the best in life, and also in journalism, and also with data.
Yeah, sure. So, guys, let's talk about some work, okay? Let's work, okay?
Once in a...
Yes, we are going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. So, David, please give me a real good reason how come Cristiano Ronaldo would play in Saudi Arabia. So, by the way, Al-Nassr is Comparisonator's client, but it doesn't mean that Cristiano Ronaldo and Saudi Arabia. This is a huge decision, and as a Portuguese sports journalist, what are your comments about this transfer?
First, a difficult question. No, I spoke about that several times since he joined Al Nassr. It's strange for me as a football journalist, also as a Portuguese, as a football fan, to see him playing in Saudi Arabia. I was not expecting that. I think that he was not expecting that too. I think that he waited as long as possible to have an offer from Europe. maybe the offers were not good enough, or the clubs that were not good enough. But at the same time, I think there is a sentence that Cristiano said in the press conference. I think that explains a little bit the decision when he says that this is a unique deal for a unique player. And we know that Cristiano is really proud of himself. He has reasons for that. And I think that, of course, it's a lot of money. Of course, money has some weight on it. I think he signed so that he can say in 20 years, I made the best deal in the sporting industry. So it's another record for him. It's a different kind of record, of course, because the records that we are used to see him, it's the Champions League goals, games, titles, or something like that, or the Ballon d'Or, or something, the trophies. This is a different kind of record, but in this time of his career, it's a different aspect of his life and game. There are several things attached with the sporting reasons, commercial, those news. I don't know if it's true or not, but those links with Saudi Arabia for the World Cup. So it's more than it's not just a player signing for other club. It's Cristiano signing for a club for a lot of money in the deal that includes commercial and ads and, well, I don't know what can include, but a lot of things. But it's strange because I think that he was capable of playing maybe 1-2 more years in Europe. And I think now the biggest question is, and we tried to know that yesterday with the new Portuguese national coach, Roberto Martinez, is if he's going to be called again for the national team. I think he will. But it's not easy to call a player that is playing, with all due respect, in Saudi Arabia. It's not the same of playing in the big fives in Europe. But at the same time, it's Cristiano. And Cristiano, I know that people say that we have to treat players equally. I agree with that. We cannot forget what Cristiano means in terms of football and in terms of brand. And I think that we have to put it all together and see that Cristiano, I think he's still useful for the national team. Maybe not as a starting lineup, of course. Maybe starting on the bench. I don't know if he wants that or he's ready for that. We saw it in the World Cup that that decision was something difficult to deal with. But I understand because he's Cristiano. He's playing at top level like 15, 18 years, and it's not easy. Just no, you're going to the bench now. Come on, it's difficult even for the coach.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. But it's strange, and I hope now that we can watch all Nasser games and see if he can score a lot of goals. And of course, the most important thing is he has to be happy. If he's happy in the Saudi Arabia, of course, we have to respect that.
Yeah, so we can easily see this transfer as maybe the experienced and the best sports car going on 60 kilometers. Only maybe this is.
Yeah, you can put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marco, you are the transfer experts. So how does your look at how is your commenting the Cristiano Ronaldo not spending 2 more years in Europe but outside of Europe? What is your comments about?
I mean, my question is, does any other club did want Cristiano in Europe? Did any other club made an offer for him?
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. That's the answer. Because of that money, by the way, and it's not just a matter of money, not just a matter of 30 millions per year, which is a big amount of money. But it's not just a matter of that. It's also a matter of the wage and the weight of Cristiano. I saw it with Juventus, for example. We did break every record with Cristiano to Juventus, but for his teammates now it's too big. It seems to be, when you buy Cristiano Ronaldo Football Club. You buy more than a player, David said. So my question is another question to your question. Did anyone made an offer, a 30 million offer per year? Because Bayern Munich was looking for a striker, Chelsea is still looking for a striker. He found a second striker, as Joao Felix. So well done, but it's
and cheaper than Cristiano.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit, but they still need it. Manchester United, okay, was looking and is still looking. Maybe they will get Weghorst from Besiktas, but many clubs are looking for a striker. But no one, except Manchester United, by the way, did sign Cristiano. So my main question is about him. I'm quite surprised by his choice, but he wants to break records, and maybe the money breaking records is a part of his dreams, or kind of.
Yeah. So Miguel, some says that, don't ask who, that is going to be me. I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo had his performance never increased after Real Madrid. He was good at Juventus, and he was not good in Manchester United. So how do you see Cristiano Ronaldo, what happened to him after Real Madrid?
Well, I don't know. In Spain, we always see Cristiano like Cristiano from Real Madrid, and it's very hard see him in the go down in his career, but he's 37 years old. The time passed for everyone, and well, but it's shocking see him in another kind of league, and not in Europe, not playing the Champions League, because he's the top scorer of the Champions League. He won 5 times the title. Well, it's a reference. It's losing him for European competition is hard, but we get used to see him in Al Nassr, and try to enjoy watching his last matches. Then maybe after Al Nassr he ended his career.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's true that it's hard. It's hard to see this new part, but exciting as well.
Yeah, by the way, we in Turkey we saw Didier Drogba, and he is one of the best strikers in his generation, and he came from China to Turkey, and then he went to Chelsea back from to the top 5 league. He went back. So sometimes these kinds of steps can be a new start of a new thinking. So seeing Didier Drogba in Turkey, it just gives me a different point of view, Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr. No?
No, I mean, it's not a kind of league. Turkish league, it's not one of the top 5, but just...
It's growing.
Just there, and it's growing. Saudi, with all the respect for the league, is kind of... Okay, it got 2-3 big clubs. Al Ahly, Al Nassr, but it's not one of the top leagues in the world. If you see the top players there, Talisca, Banega, Abubakar, who's now living, so different kind of Turkeys. I think, and also in China, many went, okay, for the experience. I know some players who went there, also Italians, but they went there for the project, many money for all of them, also not top players. Drogba, I think it is kind of different story. Cristiano is a unique story. That's true. That's a unique story, unique player, unique pathway. It's everything new, in my humble opinion.
So this is a huge news.
Not to disagree with you.
Yeah,
but
no worries. We are just talking about football. So this is the job we are doing. So yeah, we have to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. But as Marco said, David, there are lots of very good players in Saudi Arabia, and they're going maybe for money, but the most important thing is the Saudi Arabian young talents are training with Evar Banega and the Abu Bakar, Talisca, and Cristiano Ronaldo. So this can be the start of a new generation in a country. So maybe we are just being rude about talking Cristiano Ronaldo is not in the top 5 league, but maybe this is a time for a player to start a new generation in another country. What do you think about this?
I think that both are correct. I think we're not being rude when we say that the football in Saudi Arabia is not the best football in the world. I think we are just being honest because, of course, I don't see the matches all the time, but it's easy to understand it's not at the same level of other leagues. At the same time, I think that, of course, players like Cristiano Ronaldo and other players that went to those kind of leagues, of course, they improve the league, they make the other players better. Of course, I believe that one player from Al Nassr that is from Saudi Arabia, training with Cristiano must be something unbelievable. They must take in notes every day and learning with him because he's one of the best. Of course, players like this will improve the league, will improve the teammates, and maybe in the future we can have. But for example, we had Saudi Arabia winning in the World Cup against Argentina, the one match, and most of the players were playing in the championship. So of course there is quality. I think the quality needs to improve, to have more teams with that quality, not only with players but also with coaches. We had several Portuguese coaches. I'm not bragging, but I think that everybody agrees that the Portuguese coaches also have quality. They are all around the world. We have the Portuguese coach here in Turkey, Fenerbahce, Jorge Jesus. We had several coaches from Portugal working in Saudi Arabia, China also, to give their experience to try to improve the teams. I think that also happens with players. And with the top player like Cristiano, of course, you are going to improve the league. Is it enough? Well, maybe the Saudi Arabian Championship needs more Cristianos, but that costs money. Maybe one day if Messi goes there, or Neymar, or other players, but you have to start with someone, and to have, of course, the other players like Abu Bakar, Banega, of course, great players. But Cristiano is another level. It's something huge, and maybe this can be the first step to have another big players going there. I believe there is a big trying to make it big because of the World Cup. So the next few years will be interesting and to see what can happen in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because we know that Emre Belezoğlu was 15 years old when he was training with Georgia Hadji. So yes, these kind of players would teach so many things in a country's football. So my last question to Miguel, and I will ask you, who is going to be the champion in La Liga? So is Barcelona recovering, and how does it go with
He's going
Real
to say
Madrid?
Real Madrid for sure. Yeah. For sure.
No doubt. Just say
Wait
Barcelona.
a
Just try
minute,
to.
wait a minute.
Be honest.
It's a good question. It's clear that the battle is between Madrid and Barcelona only. Maybe Barcelona is more focused on La Liga because they are eliminated from Champions League, and Real Madrid always its focus on Champions League is the best title the most important goal for them. But Ancelotti wants to win another league because he never win two league title consecutive in a row, and this is a great opportunity for him. And well, I don't know what will be the result, but it'll be in the last two stages.
Okay. Do you have any questions to these journalists? Maybe, yeah. So yeah, please. Okay, I'm just going. Okay. So, yes, please.
Hello, this is Fatih Abolgadayal, the Regional Associate for LTT Sports. Yeah, my question regards the signing of Cristiano. I thought a bit that maybe it's not about money, of course, because Cristiano Ronaldo is the most wealthiest football player on the earth. But what I have seen from his history regarding taking the highest salary at the player at his team, because he left Real Madrid for that reason, and then at Manchester United he asked for the same. So I think he put himself on that area of getting the highest paid player on the team. And what I think, I don't know if you do agree me on that, he moved to Saudi Arabia because I don't think that he could still be able to make it in any top European team. So
Yeah.
do you agree me on that or not? But yeah, it's not a concept that he moved for the money, but because he put himself on specific and precise category, and he don't want to move down from it on Europe while he broke
Yeah.
all the records.
Yeah.
So do you agree me on that or not?
Yeah?
I can start. Yeah, it makes sense because it's like I said, the part of the unique deal for a unique player. Because if we talk about just the sporting side of it, he left Manchester United because he was not happy with the coach. He was not playing. Okay, of course, but will he leave because not be a starting lineup on United? Or better, to be a starting lineup at Al Nassr doesn't mean he should have been a starting lineup in United. It's totally different. So I think that's that part of the deal, because it's like I said, the unique deal for a unique player. In Europe, he will not be the top of the team in terms of salary. Not even in Portugal. At some time of the process, we thought that maybe, well, if he cannot find a club, maybe he's going back to Sporting, his first professional club. He started in Madeira, but it was Sporting that launched him before United. And at the same point, we thought, well, maybe he's going back to Sporting. Of course, not. He could be the player with the highest salary, but it would be a salary really low to the Portuguese reality, of course. But we know that he doesn't need money. Of course, he has a lot of money.
But money matters every time.
Yes, true. But this move to Saudi Arabia, it's money, of course. I agree with you, but it's ego. It's ego. We know that, and we have, like I said, it's his way of living, the way he talks about himself. I'm the best. His mentality is like that, and we have to respect that, because it's that mentality that gave him the career that he has. So, as a Portuguese, I have to be thankful for what he has done and still does for Portugal and the Portuguese football abroad. And I think it's for him. It's like hero, like, well, I'm not the player with the highest salary in Europe because nobody wants to pay me that, well, I'll go to Saudi Arabia, and then they will pay me that.
Maybe you want to be felt as the top star. And maybe
Yes.
he did not realize that it can be felt.
It was not happening at United now.
Yeah, it's just a matter of money. So he want to be felt as a star. As in Europe, it can't happen anymore. The point is, I'll be quick. The funny fact is that we're talking about the main point of this discussion, and the question was, on a 37 player went to Saudi Arabia. So it's funny that Cristiano is still a key point, anyway, in the discussion. Also in Italy, in Spain, by the way. I read Marca every day, and no, I see in Spanish newspaper, Portuguese newspaper, Cristiano is a topic every single day, and he wants to feel it, and he did lose that feeling in England, because in England we just Cristiano against Manchester United, Cristiano against Ten Hag, Cristiano not playing good, Cristiano with Bruno Fernandes arguing on the vestry. So it's that, I think, just a matter of feeling or what he wants to feel. He wants to be treated like more than the others. You were saying, like Orwell, everyone is equal, but he feels more equal than the others.
That's it, yeah.
Sure. So Miguel, Marca was the first sports channel that gave the Al Nassr Cristiano Ronaldo transfer. So congratulations, by the way.
Not me, but my co-worker, Jose Felix, is a great journalist.
Yeah, thank you very much for all your thoughts, and thank you very much for listening to us, and thanks a lot, and please stay here for the next session. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, before you leave, we will actually have a certificate for you and making a picture also. So my friend Nesrin Kara is getting the certificate, and thank you for the speech. It's inspirational as always.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo was fun.
Cristiano Ronaldo team fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you very much. Grazie.
Grazie.
And yes, it's going to be a picture.
Benimki var. Teşekkür ederim.
Yeah.